I'm making a series of videos with my teenage daughter Bridie, and the subject of our first is festivals. It is festival season. I know that a few festivals have happened already, but there are plenty to happen yet. So Bridie, who is a bit of a seasoned festival goer, she's on to her third season now, is going to give you 5 top tips. Number 1.
So my first tip would be to not take your real phone. Take an old phone or just like buy a cheap brick. Take that with you because you may well lose it or break it.
It's like your first one, the first festival when you went to, your first phone, your phone ended up in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, she knows from experience, don't you? Right, top tip number 2.
My second tip would be when you get to the festival, you and your friends should pick a landmark, which will be your meeting point. So when you guys split up, you know where to meet in the festivals because you won't have signal on your phone or anything, so you can just regroup at your landmark meeting point.
Or you may have dropped it in a river or a pond, the phone. So you might end up at your meeting point all day, so it has to be a good, interesting meeting point for your friends. I always thought, I've always said in the past, stay with your friends and look after each other. Does this mean that sometimes you're not with your friends?
Yeah.
Okay, right, tip, it's all coming out today. Tip number 3.
My third tip would be when you set up your tent, put something on your tent like a flag or like a colourful blanket, which makes it like distinguishable from like all the surrounding tents, because when you're trying to get back to your tent in the dark and it's late, like all of the tents look the same, so you need something that makes it like, that is my tent.
And everybody's probably bought their new tent at the same time, and so all the tents are the same. You've got a friend who didn't put a distinguishing feature on her tent and she ended up in 3 different tents one night.
Yeah, she was walking back late and she went into 3 different tents,
got
thinking that they were her tent, and actually took off items of her clothing in each of the different tents.
So she left one shoe in one tent and one shoe in another tent and a jumper in another tent. You don't want that to happen to you. You don't. Number 4, we're on number 4. Top tip number 4.
My 4th tip would be to embrace being unhygienic for a week. Like, it's the 1 week of, like, you get like 1 chance a year to be unhygienic at a festival, so embrace that, be a bit dirty, roll around in the mud and don't care.
And Bridie said to me earlier that there'll be at least 5 other people who are looking worse than you. So thousands there, but at least 5.
Well, probably more than 5. I mean, you're at festivals, so there'll be at least like a handful of people who look worse than you.
I was joking. I was making a joke out of it. And finally, tip number 5. This one, I'll warn you, is a bit yuck. It's a bit yuck,
well,
isn't it?
my 5th one would be to accept the fact that your tent will be used as a toilet at some point in the festival.
Just get used to the fact it may be used as a toilet. I know that happened the first festival you went to, not the second, but it's happened to friends of yours as well. Absolutely. Anyway, you're going to festival soon and you got your tickets today and you're really excited, aren't you? When I was young, there weren't so many festivals, so I think, I think it's a great thing, but as a parent, I will be at home worrying about you. Can you tell me something to reassure me so I don't have to worry too much?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think what all parents need to remember is that when you're going to a festival, it's just like a group of people, a community of people who are going together to have a good time. I mean, like, another tip I would say is, like, talk to everybody whilst you're there, meet new people, because it's a great place to, like, make friends and experience new things, and, like, really it's just, like, everyone's pretty lovely most of the time.
Good. Well, if you've got a top festival tip, please include it in the comments below. And if you'd like to give us some ideas for our next video, we should be shooting in about a week's time. Okay, bye.